It's Tuesday morning, and we've a full lineup for you today. Here's what's coming up.
Today, Brian Holman is at the 2013 Wake Up to Kansas Agriculture Pancake Breakfast for state legislators. First, he visits with the Chief Executive Officer for the Kansas Soybean Commission about grain commodity organizations and their checkoff legislative reports. Then he and the Kansas Secretary of Agriculture discuss statewide ag issues, including corporate farming, the Farm Bill, and the drought. Stay tuned for all this and more after the break. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Good morning, welcome back to the show. We're at the 2013 version of Ag Day and joined by Kenlon. Good to see you again, Kenlon.
Yes, good morning.
I think this is our fourth or fifth year to cover this event. It's a nice opportunity to get the commodity groups together, feed some legislative people. I know the Secretary of Ag's here and Governor always stops by, so it's a nice time to talk about ag and ag issues.
Well, certainly agriculture in Kansas, very, very important. And we stress that not only to our rural legislators, but our city legislators too. And it's a good opportunity to sit down and just informally talk about it, see if they've got any issues. You talk about important stuff, such as certain pieces of legislation, and then talk about the weather and talk about other things. So it's a good time to just lay back and just talk.
I know this time of the year you guys also start making reports to different committees. What is that all about, I guess?
Well, the different checkoffs, at least the grain commodity checkoffs, wheat, corn, grain, sorghum, sunflowers, and soybeans, have all been really started by an act of the Kansas legislature. And so every year, these commodity organizations go to the Senate Ag Committee and the House Ag Committee and give a summation of what's happened over the past year, what we're doing with the funds, what's new in the industry. So it's kind of a fun time to sit down with those committees and let them know, because we're pretty proud of what we do with all the checkoff funds that we collect in the state.
Well, you have to think about it, not only soybean, but some of the other grains here in the state of Kansas spend a lot of money when it comes to research. Mm-hmm. They're funding research at public universities, Kansas State mostly, so it really gives back to the state what you guys do as far as the checkoff goes.
Well, certainly, the farmers are appreciative of what the legislature did to set up these commodity checkoff boards. And yes, we do a lot of work, especially probably at Kansas State University, but we also expand into KU, Pittsburgh State, and sometimes Fort Hays State, Wichita State, with some of the programs that we fund that will benefit our farmers. And basic research can be very important. Kansas is different than other states,
right.
And there are national studies that we do on different insects and pests and herbicides and all that, but we focus it back to Kansas in many cases with our climate and our soils and how they relate to the research that's done nationally.
Looking forward to 13. I mean, we're getting ready to come into planting season. What's a word as you're starting to talk to your growers?
Well, we're always optimistic. A little bit of the moisture that came through this last time, hopeful. And they're ready to go and get it into the ground and then see what the good Lord provides
right.
from that time on.
Well, it never fails. Farmers are the most optimistic people I've ever met in my life. They know that this year's probably going to be one of their best years until summer hits, and then you just never know what happens after summer hits.
Well, you certainly don't, but they really, in their farming practices now, optimize moisture as much as they can, till very little, try and get the coverage of the plant to protect the ground so it doesn't dry out. So the farmers are out there fighting hard too to make sure every drop of that moisture goes into the seed that they want to get at the end of the year.
Perfect. Kenlon, it's good to see you.
You bet. Likewise.
Thank you for your time.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
Early spring is the best time to plant many of the cool season garden vegetables for your dinner table, finishing in just 4 to 12 weeks. Plant homegrown cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, lettuce, and onion plants in your garden or container. Homegrown, hardy, and healthy plants are now available at Jackson's.
Use Fertilome Gardener Special Fertilizer for your garden. or Fertilome blooming and rooting water soluble for your containers for best production.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. This segment brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Thanks for staying with us. We're at the 2013 version of Ag Week here in the state of Kansas. We're joined by the Secretary of Agriculture. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Secretary.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's the first time we've had you on, so it's nice that I got to track you down and spend a little time with you. Drought. Everybody talks about drought. The governor put together a drought committee. And how's that committee going?
Well, I think it's a very important committee. We're going into the third year of the drought in many parts of the state. Our customers, the farmers and ranchers in the state of Kansas, are very resilient type people, but after 3 years of this, it's very, very difficult. We've done a lot of work to do everything that we can support them. The Drought Committee itself is really to raise awareness, not only in the farms and the ranches, but the communities as well, because last year we had feed yards running out of water. We have cities challenging each other for water. We want to be sure, and we've asked the communities to plan 2 years ahead as if the drought continues. So we want to overcompensate rather than undercompensate, because without water we're in a major challenge. For the farmers, we've done a lot of work in pond and livestock water and cleaning out ponds and dams across the Flint Hills and our cattle industry. If we don't have water in the farms and pastures, then we don't have cattle, and then it affects our feeding industry and in our beef packing industry, which is over 30,000 people involved in that. So thank goodness we got some rains in southeast Kansas. We did fill up a few ponds, but in all, we're in a major water war, and I don't want to make that sound bad. War sounds bad, but major conflicts over water and who owns it. So it's a difficult time for us, and I anticipate that to continue through the year.
Well, and no one wants to conserve water more than the farmer or the rancher. I mean, they understand that water's their lifeblood. It means they're going to grow a crop or grow an animal, and no one conserves it better than a farmer does.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And we really, some of the legislation we passed last year was designed to help that and move the responsibilities or the ability back to the local level to make those decisions. The multi-year flex accounts, which is a 5-year account to make your water allocation, move it up and down that 5-year period so you can plan your crops around it, is more flexibility than ever had before. Initially, we had about 753 sign up for that. We encouraged more this year. Like all good farmers, a lot of them is wait and see how it works. Right. The other thing is the locally enhanced management area, which allows an area themselves to decide to reduce water. And we have one area that's done that, led by a feed yard in the area. The farmers and ranchers got together. They decided that, we're going to lose this feed yard if we don't have water, then we don't have a place for our crops, and then we're going to pay freight to haul our grain away, and it's going to lose money. So as a group, they've got together and set up a locally enhanced management area to reduce their water, I think, to 11 inches.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. If that's all right, I'm going to keep you around for a few minutes. I know you're busy, but we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about kind of the state of agriculture here in the state, and there's some legislative issues that I think you want to talk about also.
Many of them.
There
right?
you go. You're watching Ag AM in Kansas. We'll see you in just a minute.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced performance is here now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Nobody gives you more ways to play and more reasons to stay than Prairie Band Casino and Resort. 3 great restaurants, Players Club benefits, plus an award-winning golf course. Go for it. You'll find something new and exciting every day, just north of Topeka off Highway 75.
Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Go for it!
I'm Dennis Tebow. My wife and I, Kathy, are the owners of Wolf Creek Cattle Company. We have grown to approximately 70 bulls.
I'm Reese Arnold. I'm the livestock manager at Wolf Creek Cattle Company. These are not just like normal cattle. These cattle, they're hauled anywhere from, 8 to 10 hours a day across the United States and asked to perform. The Multi-Man 90 keeps them kind of level. It maintains and balances their system. The stress level is less when everything's right and working right, then they're working right.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
This segment is brought to you by Tarwater Farm and Home. Come on by, we'll treat you like family.
Thanks for staying with us, Mr. Secretary. Thank you for staying with us. I appreciate that. The state of agriculture, healthy?
Agriculture is the largest industry in the state of Kansas. Kansas was built on the back of agriculture. It's still the largest industry in total dollars shipped, total dollars of the total number of people employed in it. It will be 50 years from now. It's good. The drought has dramatically affected us. Sorghum, corn, and bean yields were down 17, 16, and 18%. Our production, wheat was good last year because we had early rains with our wheat and we had a good wheat crop. The animal sector has been greatly affected by the drought and high feed prices. So basically, milk production, cattle feeding, hog production, dairy, poultry are really been upside down on their margins. So we do see some reductions in futures prices of commodities. That will probably help across the board and balance the issue out. Historically, we know over the years the solution for high prices is high prices, and the solution for low prices is low prices. So the major concern we now is we don't have a farm bill from Washington, and so crop insurance is very critical to many of our farmers. They use it in some cases for leverage to borrow against to put their crops in, and we're kind of running in never land because of Washington, but we'll make it.
Legislative, we're in session right now, or there's some hot topics we need to be thinking about as far as farming goes?
There's some very important ones for Kansas. One of my responsibilities is help provide direction where the state can be and where we can grow as a state. I look at Kansas and it's basically an underutilized asset in many ways. It's not to be in negative of what we've done, but it's really to be positive about our potential going forward in the future. One of the issues we have in front of us is the corporate farming laws of the state of Kansas. This is a very difficult issue. It was put in place in the 30s when there was a huge demand for wheat, and some corporation bought 100 and some thousand acres, western Kansas, and everybody became worried about the demise of the family farm, and some big corporation was going to own the state of Kansas. Over the years, that's been tweaked and changed. It's a very complex law today. Basically, it's unconstitutional under the Dormant Commerce Clause of the United States, and by the way, that's the same clause that allowed Obamacare to become legal across state lines. And so it's unconstitutional. The second thing is the requirements in and around ownership and being involved in living on family farms are onerous today because we're moving in second, third generation. And we probably have a multitude of businesses and farms that are probably illegal under the law today that are operating. It also prevents some of our existing businesses to work together and combine their operation for leverage or future growth. And so it was designed and set up to keep pork and hog production out of the state of Kansas. The world demand for animal protein is going through the roof. We're a beef state. Cow-calf numbers are 70 years low. Although we're producing 35% more pounds of beef per unit, we're going to benefit from the world demand for animal agriculture. For beef, we need the other species as well. And this allows us to rebuild our infrastructure and help rebuild our rural communities. Because if you're selling grain, and you're just a grain farmer and not just a grain farmer, if your crop is, your customer is 25 miles closer down the road, you're probably going to save 50, 60 cents a bushel. Because the farmer pays the freight at the end of the day.
Both ways. Yeah. He pays it both ways, coming and going.
That's exactly right.
We're going to take a quick break, if that's all right. I'm going to keep you around for a few minutes. I know you're busy, but we're going to take a quick break. You're watching Ag AM in Kansas, and we'll see you in just a minute.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
We've been here for 42 years now. We run around 2,500 cows. I bought a couple loads of cattle out of black cows out of California. I noticed these cows are kind of off color, rusty color. We're going to be processing these cows in the next few days, and at that time I will inject Multimin into them to help take care of their copper deficiency. I would recommend Multimin to any cow man, and it's been effective.
Dr. Dan here. Whether I'm driving up and down the roads covering the state of Kansas, or I'm getting between Riley and Manhattan for my job, I'm driving a Ford truck. I'd like you to come out and visit my friends here at Dick Edwards Ford. They have a truck that'll suit your needs, whether you're looking for power with a Power Stroke diesel, or if you're looking for fuel efficiency with the new EcoBoost engine, they got a truck that's just right for you. They're located 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall in Manhattan, Kansas, and they'll bend over backwards to help you. And I'll see you down the road.
This segment is brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Stop by or visit us at sftmeats.com.
So, and the other thing to remember is the energy cost of freight is going through the roof. So if you take a pound of pork and you raise it to 2.5 pounds of feed, and you process it and cut it up and pre-package it here, you probably got a 5-to-1 advantage over shipping the soybeans to some other foreign country. So the freight will help us in the future in this area. So, but the real important thing is it will help our rural communities in Kansas, and we'll get jobs, and eventually we'll get processing plants, and we'll make more investment back in it. There's no question there'll be more investment around the state coming back into Kansas. But we have a lot of capital in Kansas wanting to invest and grow existing. And that's our first and biggest desire, is to grow from within.
Well, you look at NBAF and the opportunities it brings not only to Manhattan, but the outlying small communities. You look at Wamego, Junction City, and some of those smaller communities around there. They're going to benefit from just, the spillover from NBAF.
There's no question. In my opinion, Manhattan will probably double in size in the next 25 years. I don't know where we're going to get the land for that to happen. It might be Wamego. As you know, I'm on the Kansas Bioscience Authority. We're very cognizant of that. With that authority, we've been repositioning it really to focus on key core industries of the state of Kansas. We have our first investment because of NBAF, which is Midwest Vet Services, which is a clinical research organization that works for animal bioscience companies, is building their second plant. The first is in Oakland, Nebraska. We had grand opening in Wamego the other day. They'll employ up to 25 students, PhDs. They do protocols and chemical research and that's a result of NBAF. I'm told there's over 35 other companies that have expressed interest to be in and around that. The Kirk Schultz, Dean, has got quite a program for the future of Kansas State University in the way of research, and it will be built around NBAF. A lot of that will be built around NBAF and the infrastructure there about with it. So.
Well, and we got to spend a few minutes with Kenlon a few minutes ago, and we talked about research and the checkoff dollars and some of the things that go into research here in the state. Checkoff dollars fund research here in the state of Kansas. How important is that to continually grow educated young people and putting them into the workforce here in the state of Kansas?
Well, it's very, very critical for the young people, and I want to talk about sorghum. I'll come back to that in a second.
No, that's fine.
But just take a step back and look at from a distance at agriculture the last 20 years. We've been driven by technology. The things that we have done, none of us believe or had any vision that it could happen. The job that we have ahead of us in the future has to come, the amount of food that we have to produce for the world has to come from technology, because we have less land and less water going forward. So the research is very, very critical, and it's very, very critical that it be focused. That's one of the reasons we're in the process of working with the legislature here, and the governor had put in his budget to put $2 million to the Department of Ag to centralize, focus sorghum research in the world in Kansas. Kansas is the largest sorghum state, and one of the main reasons, there's two reasons we want to do this. One is the sorghum uses about 60% of the water of corn. So our challenges with irrigation, the Ogallala and sorghum is much more indigenous to our climate. The second thing is there's been a large movement with the advanced biofuels and the approval of sorghum as non-food based biofuels for advanced biofuels, 50% greenhouse gas we have a window of opportunity here with our 11 ethanol plants in Kansas using 60% sorghum today and wanting more. And the DDG works just as good as DDG coming out of corn. So we're in, let's say we're in the sorghum sweet spot. We must get sorghum more competitive with corn on a return for the farmers in order to help get them there. So this $2 million intent is to be working with the sorghum producers and their checkoff programs, the universities, and private companies in order to really focus that sorghum research to the things that will get the most bang for the buck and the quickest in the future.
Perfect. Secretary, it's good to spend time with you.
Thank you
for your time today.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
We'll have lots more for you tomorrow here on Ag AM in Kansas. We're here every weekday, same time, same station. Meantime, look for us on the web at agaminkansas.com. Eric Atkinson here from K-State Research and Extension.